Hello. If you're seeing this video, it means it's accessible for all audiences and it won't affect me in my real life in any way. And so this is like another video diary, whatever. I've done a bunch of these already. Most of them will never be available for public consumption, but I've just, my thoughts. I like getting things off my chest and talking about it and finalizing what I believe in and how I view the world so I can look back on it one day and see if my thoughts on the world has changed or anything. I've been putting off this video mainly because I didn't want to tackle it or believe it. And then also, I didn't know what to say or how to word it. I could see something was wrong, but I never actually had the words to describe what was wrong. And now I will be talking about it today the best I can and to the best of my abilities and to what I have seen in my own personal life. This is going to be about the church and why I hate the church and institutions in general. Why I hate institutions in general. So where do I begin? The church is a business, and this business needs to keep a congregation in order to keep it functional and profitable. It's essentially, you don't care about the word, you care about the profits, the profitability of the word. And because of that, you are a prison to your congregation. And so the pastor can't preach what's really in the Bible or what the Bible really says because it's not politically correct to do so. And he will lose people in his congregation if he preaches what's really in the Bible. And he can't afford that. It will damage his wallet, it will damage his checkbook, and therefore he can't really preach on these things. That's why you get surface level sermons and they never go any deeper in church, is because of that very reason. They can't have these conversations within the church because it will offend somebody and then they will lose people. Next thing, women are the biggest spenders in society. That's just a thing. It's been proven. Because of that, women are also the majority of the say in the church. Women have a lot of power within the church. Thus, for the church has become feminized. Anything that tackles women, relationship, or biblical talking points on women in the Bible are always glanced over, whereas the men's viewpoint and the men's responsibilities and the men's talking points of the Bible are constantly pointed out because they want to show our failures, but we can't properly share theirs because, again, feminism is an ideology that most women share, and it's in churches. Whether you want it there or not, feminism is definitely within the church. Another big thing in the church, however, is female pastors. All right? Female pastors is another. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'll cut that out. What was I saying? So the church is feminized. So, um, because of that, so the church was feminized. Another thing, female pastors. That's where I was at. So I believe wholeheartedly that women were a big point in the Bible with like Ruth, Mary Magdalene, Esther. There are female prophets in the Bible, and I do believe that they do have a right to say. But my issue with this is women should not have the right nor the authority to tell a man and a young man what to do or how to be. Women should stick to their own. We should have women teaching women how to be better women, and we should have men teaching men how to be better men. Statistically, if you look at single parent households, if a woman tries to teach a man how to be a man, that man does drugs, winds up in jail, has a criminal history, is set back in society, far more likely to be set back in society in some way. We're just different. All right? We're different physically. We're different biologically. We think differently. We are different. There's nothing wrong with different. It's just we're different. And I believe that male pastors should preach to male pastors, and female pastors should probably preach to female congregation. That's my thought. I'm fine with it, but if there's a female pastor at church sermon, I'm not listening to anything she says. She will never have the experience of a man. She will never go through what men go through. She will never have the same experience I have. Therefore, anything she says is null and void. Pointless. Now, the next thing, performance pastors. The church has to be entertaining now because you want to pull in an audience. So you have to be entertaining. You got to have lights, you got to have loud music, you got to be animated to get your conversations or your ideas across. And I don't like the fakeness of it. I don't like the performance because I tie it with a TV show or a movie, not real. I don't get anything out of the sermon if you are pretending, to be animated about the subject and pretending to be interested in the subject and animated and exciting and shaking your hands and staring on chairs and yelling. I don't listen to that because I pair it with fakeness, which is an issue for me, yes, but I see the whole world as fake at this point. None of it's real, it's all artificial. So, I don't know where, I guess it's glitched. Fair enough. And now, another point of contention. Let me think of more. There they are. They just spawned in. Nope, they didn't spawn in. Interesting. Another point of contention for the church that I do not like. Another thing I don't like. How do I? Fake pastor, women in places of authority over men, feminized church. Oh, right. Here we go. The word. Now this is a phrase from World War II that I've been having that I found out today. It was a World War I, World War II phrase. It's changed over the years, but essentially what it says is no one believes in God until the first grenade is thrown. So what this is ultimately saying is the grenade is a metaphor for a problem. It could be any problem. You'll never know. You know, it's just problem in general. Essentially what it is a lot of fake Christians within the congregation, and they're either there for socialization or entertainment, or their parents did it, so they do it. Or they're a sinner. They committed a bunch of sin. They messed up their lives, and now they want community and forgiveness. And we're supposed to take on these harpies and single mothers into the congregation and say, no, you did nothing wrong, and support them. No, I'm very much Old Testament. Yes, God will forgive you of your sin, but he won't take your consequences away from you. You still have to live with those. It's punishment for what you did. You can't just say, I'm sorry for my sin, and then immediately well, she said she's sorry, we have to give up. Like, she said she's sorry. We have to forgive her and give her a second chance. No, she made her choices in life. No, she made her choices in life. She has to live with them. I disagree with that notion. That's a really big one for me. It's like, do you think you could just walk in here, say you're sorry, and walk out after everything you did in your life? You know, you sinned and did everything you wanted to do, and now you're expecting, oh, I'm sorry, and we're just going to forgive you? No. You can be forgiven of your sin, yes. But by God, you're going to live with those consequences. It's like if a murderer killed someone and then immediately went to church and said he's sorry about it. Are we going to not arrest this man? Are we not going to charge him with the crimes of killing someone? No, we're still going to charge him. He's still going to have to face the consequences. Same thing with you women, and same thing with you men in the church. I don't care what you've done in your past life. You still have to live with the consequences of that. I will not immediately forgive you for it. I may never forgive you for it. I don't have to. And I don't have to help you through it. You know? That's your problem. That's your fault. You did that to yourself. Next topic. Fake. Tell the grenade is thrown. The grenade's a metaphor. It's for problems. Any problems that you have in life. Yeah. Then you'll say you're sorry, even though you're not Christian. You'll say you're sorry. There's so many problems with the church. Like, like growing up, real talk, no notes. Real talk. Growing up, I've noticed it a lot, where it's like I've been in multiple churches in my life, and I've seen it here and there every once in a while, and now I'm at a church where I really see it, and it ticks me off. I don't even go into sermons most of the time. I just stand out and talk, because I use it as socialization now, because it's a joke. It's all a joke. Like, we laugh at it every day. It's like Christianity is the only religion in America that you can make fun of without any repercussions for doing so, either physically or societally. Andrew Tate even Andrew Tate pointed that out to me, where it's like any other religion, you would be punished heavily for making fun of their religion, but for some reason we are okay with making fun of like Christianity as a society, even though that this is a Christian country. And men are coming to religion en masse, but I don't think it's going to change anything about the church anytime soon. That young men are coming back looking for purpose and meaning and whatnot, because they're honestly not going to find it there. They're going to go there, they're going to look around, they're going to see that that is just as degraded and far away from the actual biblical teachings as anything else, and then they're going to walk away. And on top of that, there's just on top of that, there's like fake Christians within the church, like I already talked about, and there's so many problems with the church and institutions in general that I don't trust people. I don't trust institutions like at all anymore. I don't even trust like government, any form of organization. I don't trust you, because they all have different ideas or they have motivations behind the scenes, and you got to understand what their motivations are before you can decide if they're good or bad. And most of those people hide their motivations, and the church is the same way. The church is not for Christians anymore. It's a social environment. It's a public setting that you can go to. It's like the movie theater, or the library. It's not anything special. It's nothing special. It's been destroyed and taken over by sinners and pagans. The best example, church. The best example is marriage. Marriage used to be something that was religious in America. It was, one man, one woman being married under God. And it was a religious ceremony that was held in a church to finalize the pairing of two becoming one. Now, you have non-Christians, secular humans, secular people, atheists, other religions, doesn't matter, having marriages in a church under a Christian banner, praying and pledging to a God that they don't believe in, and to them doesn't exist. How are you meant to uphold the laws of marriage and show that you are one flesh under God if you don't believe in God? Do you see the hypocrisy there? It's a joke. All of it is a joke. And that is why I don't like churches. And I'm having a hard time finding a Christian community now, because every Christian church I go to is watered down to hell, because they can't talk about any serious topics. And also the pastor, all right? The pastor will go with what the congregation says, not with what the Bible says, with what the congregation says, because the congregation is how it makes its money. It's a business. You go there for a smoothie. If you were sold a bad smoothie or offensive smoothie, you're not going to go back. You're going to find a new smoothie place. And that is ultimately what is the problem with the church. It's feminized, it's corporate, it's unionized, it's a business, fake Christians throughout, and the ideology of we must forgive and let in these people. No. Yes, I will forgive them of their sin, not their consequences. They have to live with those. And no, I don't have to accept them for who they are. If you come in and you're bi or homosexual or gay, the Bible as scripture and a firm line of what that is. It's sin. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to let it in. It's sin. It's straight up sin. I don't make the rules. I'm just obeying by them. And then you have the pick-me Christians. They're the Christians that pick and choose what Bible verses they want to follow and what type of Christian they want to be. They're Christian, but they're a pick and choose Christian. They'll choose what they want to follow and what they won't. Doesn't sound like Christianity, does it? But these people exist. I've ran into them. And that is everything wrong with the church, and why I'm frustrated with it, and why I don't necessarily go anymore. There was a friend I was talking and hanging out with friends. He was mad at me for missing service. I don't care. Because whatever they're saying in there, it's performance. It's not real, and it's watered down. That's how I feel about the church. I'm glad I could get this off my chest. This was good for me. No one believes in God until the first hand grenade is thrown. That's what sparked this. A line I heard today is what sparked this. I also don't trust institutions, governments, but it's all because they're all bought and paid for by the same institutions and corporations. So, see you later.